This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis, Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett, Williamson, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof, Searles, Erik, Greysin, Ishara, Ashlee, Bradley, Laura Lewis, and Helena Jacobsen. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Yulia Schneiderman to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and support. We really, truly appreciate it and couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 20 of Towers of Midnight.
Yeah, Chapter 20 is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I love the choice. It's a good chapter.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
You were not sure if I'd like it or not, which surprises me.
Well, I mean, it's like it could always go either way. I don't know. Nynaeve isn't exactly your favorite all the time. But...
No, I have to tell you, though, I was worried.
Okay.
I was concerned.
About?
Whether... like, what would happen.
All the things.
Like,
fair
it
enough.
Wasn't inherently obvious what the ending was gonna be.
Yeah, like if she was gonna pass.
And there's a lot of times where, like, when all the girls went through the accepted test, at no point was I like, oh, this isn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or when Matt was fighting Galad and Gawain, it was like, well, of course he's gonna win. Like,
Sure.
At no point was I skeptical or didn't know what the outcome was gonna be.
Okay.
But this felt like, oh no.
Because like
Nynaeve,
she doesn't need to become Aes Sedai.
She doesn't.
Yeah, like she could fail
and
reasonably.
still just do whatever she's gonna do.
Yeah, and she kind of says that. She voices her opinion of that afterwards, but that is a very real possibility.
Yeah, and I was like, something's definitely gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
And
then you're like,
I'm not
she's not
sure.
following the rules at all.
Of course not. And
yeah.
But like we could have seen that coming because she didn't follow the rules the first time either.
Yeah, exactly.
So
they should have all learned from it, but that's okay. That is the Aes Sedai way. We
to
don't
never learn from any mistakes
and
actually just never talk about anything that's ever happened before.
Exactly.
Either.
Yeah, I have some interesting. I'm gonna say some things as we go through this about my thoughts on that too.
Yeah, that Nynaeve, she's strong as heck.
She is. Holy moly, that's a problem.
I like her. I like her so much, and I know I give her such crap, but
sometimes she deserves it.
Man, she's strong. She's like the strongest character in this entire series.
Some could say that.
Like mentally, physically, like she's just
power-wise, she's like up there.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Just so tenacious.
Okay.
I liked it here, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, girl, you go.
And we'll talk about it. The chapter symbol, it's a newbie, but it's not. It's kind of new, but it's not really new.
Is it new from New Spring?
New from New Spring. It's new to us now, but we've seen it in New Spring during Moraine's test for Aes Sedai.
Right.
Which is going to be relevant here because... I
actually was thinking about how I'm looking forward to rereading New Spring.
Yeah, okay.
Like, after this, I was like, that's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, just because I want to, like, see it again. Because I remember the, like, woo, fireworks at the end that are, like, super stupid.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay, so for the fun fact, I figured since the chapter symbol is the 6-pointed star, I would do a fun fact on hexagrams, because why not? Hexagrams, 6-pointed stars. So here we go. The hexagram, the shape that makes the interior of the star, is a hexagon. Holy moly. Yep, it's true. Look it up. If you look at a picture, it's a hexagon. And then, same with like a pentagram, is because the interior shape of it is a pentagon. Yeah, because that's how shapes work, I guess. I don't know. When you look at a picture, you're like, oh yeah, that's really obvious. I've never put a lot of thought into shapes like that before.
So it has 6 sides.
Yeah. Got 6 like points and 6 sides of like the interior of the star shape.
The inside of the star shape.
Yeah, you could like draw a hexagon.
Because the star has 6 vertices, it doesn't have 6 sides.
See, now you're saying a bunch of words that I don't really understand. Anyways,
corners,
back
points,
to my fun fact.
Where 2 lines meet.
More importantly, some people prefer the Greek version of the word hexagram. I prefer the Latin version, sexagram.
Yes,
hilarious.
you would, yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. Why is it sexagram? I don't know. Okay, because Latin. And they say it's a dead language? I don't think so. Okay, Now, I was looking at the origins of the use of the hexagram. So apparently it's been used in like a ton of different religions and cultural contexts, and also as a solid decorative motif. So it's everywhere from Christian churches to Jewish synagogues. It's the shape of the Star of David. It's literally translated as the Shield of David. It's first used possibly by Buddhists, but also by Hindus and Muslims. And it's been found in cosmological diagrams. So really there's no like starting point for this shape. It's a really basic geometric shape. So not necessarily like all related. It's not all interconnected between all cultures. It's just like a really cool basic shape that everybody kind of used. But it's also often associated with things like protection, gods, power, the elements, all sorts of dichotomies of like good and evil, war and peace, male, female, basically whatever you want it to be. People have used it.
Because it's two triangles that overlap.
Exactly, like an up and down and opposite. So it's like all sorts of crazy stuff.
It's a symbol that can represent duality.
Yeah. So there's so many things that I couldn't really nail down like one really cool fun fact.
Well,
but also apparently mathematicians are really excited about it because I can't really back it up because there's a lot of numbers and stuff, but something with circles and straight lines and algebra. Who couldn't circumference define vertices. I don't know. It's like there was a lot of stuff.
Struggled with math.
There's some apparently cool stuff going on with hexagrams. Anyways, but you know what's also really crazy with the number 6 and hexagrams and this chapter and Moraine's test and all that stuff?
Tell me.
Okay, so how many tests do you think we see of Nynaeve? Of actual like tests that we see? Because you know there's 100 tests she has to go through.
Okay, I see what you're asking.
Yeah, how many tests do we get to see on paper, on the page?
I think we see the first 3.
No, I'm looking 4. For a total number.
No, I know, I'm counting.
Okay. You're doing the, okay.
I'm counting. I think we see the first 3 or 4.
Okay.
And we see like the 47th and like the 81st and then the like 100th.
Okay, so I'm going to need a total.
Okay. Is it 6?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it wasn't a trick question. Oh, now I'm realizing.
Yeah, well, I was like,
I understand.
There's an asterisk to that though, because we see the ending of 1, which could technically be like the 7th, but I'm going to go with 6. Mm-hmm. We see 6. We see the end of the 7th, but don't care about that.
Well, if it was 7, then it's like Aes Sedai related.
Perfect, and it works anyways.
Yeah.
And then you also know one of those crazy, so at the end of Moraine's Aes Sedai test, so you get the Night of Contemplation with her and Swan afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Well, what did they do that night? Do you remember what they spent their time doing for their Night of Contemplation?
Didn't they do it?
No.
Oh.
Well, probably after, but like I'd have to assume, but they did one specific thing.
Kissed.
Nope. You're way off track here.
I got one thing on my mind. You're talking about sexagrams. I don't know.
They were messing with Elida, and they put mice in her bed. And how many mice were there?
6?
6 mice. Whoa. That's, yeah, it's on paper. It's there. It's crazy, hey?
I don't remember Newsprint.
No. Okay.
Sorry.
Your version of it is going to be much more heated and romancy. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I like it better that way.
Kissing.
Yeah. Because at some point they do.
Probably, yeah. Pretty sure. It happens. Okay. Let's get into this chapter.
Okay, yeah, I really thought you were going to talk a lot more heavily about the Magen David, like the Star of David.
No, there's so much stuff.
Of course, that's all I could picture.
Yeah.
Like the 2 triangles overlapping.
Yeah.
And I found it interesting that the chapter symbol, it's a 6-pointed star, but it's not 2 triangles overlapping. Like it's not specifically not the Star of David in the chapter symbol.
Yeah.
It's like...
Not quite.
It's fancy.
Yeah.
It's a fancy one that looks like it could be like stained glass or something.
Right.
It's, yeah.
So.
It's not exactly as described in the chapter.
No, but it's still a hexagram. Because math.
If you say so. I don't know about that one. I feel like math people are going to come for you. Math people are going to come for you a little on that one, I think.
But, you know, they're all...
Because I'm a little... I'm like, what are you talking about?
There was a bunch of stuff about, like, I don't know. I can't really even... There's a lot of numbers. And
you
they're
know
like,
what?
Look at this
That's
crazy stuff.
Just about the exact amount of research I want you to put into this anyway.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't know what you're expecting.
Nothing. I really don't expect anything at this point.
Okay.
The fact that you're still coming up with these is pretty impressive.
It's like 400 or something.
It's so many.
Yeah. I thought I was going to burn out after like book 3.
No.
Yeah.
Can't.
Okay, can't do it. Now we're so close to the end.
You can't do it. Yeah.
Okay, now can we start the
Sure,
choice?
now
Okay.
we can start the chapter. So, surprise, we're in Nynaeve's perspective.
Yeah.
And she's on her way to do her Aes Sedai test.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.
To be tested for the Aes Sedai.
We're doing this.
And now, in the regular series, apart from New Spring, we get several mentions of these 100 weaves in a specific order. So even if you haven't read New Spring and you're like, oh, this isn't a new idea for what an Aes Sedai test is.
We have been prepped for knowing the 100 weaves for so long in this book series.
Yeah.
And I love what's done with them. Not just like here, but it's really fantastic because the preface to the tests. Okay, I'll talk about it when we get to the first test.
Ooh, okay.
Like the first weave.
Sure.
I'll talk about my thoughts and opinions and feelings.
Interesting. Because, I don't have many.
I have some.
Okay.
I got some, and we'll get to it.
All right.
But first, we have a new Mistress and Novices, too.
Razel.
Razel. Because she's a replacement for Sylviana because now she's Keeper.
Is this someone we know or don't know?
No.
It's a yellow who's not mean to Nynaeve, so, that's important.
And it's a coincidence that it's, Nynaeve's yellow and then she's yellow. That's not part...
Is it a coincidence?
Yes.
Because Egwene makes these decisions, doesn't she?
But it's the Mistress and Novices that's bringing her down. I don't think it's completely...
Okay.
Maybe Egwene had a hand in it. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say.
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Egwene likes to really stick her fingers in those
If she had the ability at all
Wooden
to
spoons,
influence it,
stirring
then
the
she
pots.
did. Yeah. Because she would.
She would.
Yeah. Okay.
1000%.
Okay. Anyways, yes, Razel has been very nice to Nynaeve, and then we get this... Nynaeve's so funny this chapter.
I love it. It's I don't know, something just clicked for me where I just loved everything she had to say and think.
Yeah, because even at the beginning here, because we know it's all
you
ceremony,
know why?
it's right?
Because it's all in a context I can appreciate.
Right.
It's like Egwene taking a step up into leadership. All of a sudden, her stubbornness, her ambition, her, going against all the rules, everything, it isn't as annoying.
Yeah.
And it isn't as grating because it's in a position of power, that's what I want you to be.
Right.
Right? But I feel like here with Nynaeve, everything that she is in this chapter is perfect.
Yeah, so as a first example here, so we know that the testing for Aes Sedai is very ceremony stuff, and Razel is still trying to keep to the ceremony stuff.
She's trying.
But Nynaeve's like, nah, this is a formality because I'm already Aes Sedai. So Razel naturally says, hey, why don't you move that ring on your finger to the other finger?
Can I suggest you move your ring to the third finger on your left hand?
Right.
Because that's where accepted wear it. And Nynaeve says, you can suggest it.
Yeah, and then no follow-up doesn't do anything. It's yes, perfect. That is perfect. But then she's going to be nice because Razel's been nice to her and she's trying not to be a super
complete dick.
Yeah. So she's like, oh.
Character growth?
Exactly. She's not a complete dick all the time.
It's something.
It is something.
And she goes, well, you see, I wouldn't want to disrespect the Amyrlin. She named me Aes Sedai already, so it would undermine her to act like I'm not.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see
point,
what you're
good
saying.
point.
Okay.
Yep. Cool.
And then Nynaeve actually thanks her for being so nice. There's a lot of character development and growth that Nynaeve is showing here. Because, like we were saying... That
deference that she absolutely struggled with forever and ever.
Yeah.
She's got some sparks of it. I mean, you got to be nice to her for you to get to that point with Nynaeve.
Right.
However, it's there.
And Razel seems like the best of the yellows because a bunch of the other yellows are being really mean to Nynaeve and treating her with disdain.
Which is annoying because I thought I liked yellows, but I'm trying to think of any yellows in the series. So I'm like, that's one I really like.
Yellows aren't necessarily better just because they heal people.
I know. I guess I just picture them as caring. To be healers, you must really care.
Yeah.
But
that can't be true though, even in our world.
That doesn't just exactly equal relate to nice.
We've all met doctors or nurses and it's why do you work in this profession? There is a little bit of a people aspect to some, are you the customer facing doctor or the backroom doctor who doesn't have to interact with people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You just caught him on a hard day.
Okay. You know who's having a worse day?
Nynaeve.
Person in the hospital, probably.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, maybe not, though.
I mean, okay, fair, but
Okay, anyway.
Okay.
Go on.
No, that's it. Now we're going to get to the big old doors to the testing area because, like, this is the big oval triangle.
Yep.
And we got to go through, and then there's one Aes Sedai from each Aja here, including the Reds.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
We didn't exclude the Reds.
I wrote it down, and I went back through my notes a little bit because I know all these names.
Yeah, they're all sitters, so we've come across all of them at some point.
Yeah, and I'm still unsure of which sitters are actually sitting right now.
These
like,
are
I don't
all...
have my list filled in completely.
Yeah.
Because after the merge, this is like on Survivor.
These are all active sitters.
After the merge, who comes out as the leaders?
Exactly, yeah, that is the thing.
Yeah, so there are some rebel sitters and some...
Like loyalists?
What do we call them?
Loyalists, I think.
OGs? Originals? They didn't leave?
Those ones?
The ones who stayed?
Right.
There are some of those, so I don't have complete list still. I still don't know who and who.
That's
but
fine.
I do know Yukiri
from the
gray.
Yeah.
Siane from the white. Romonda from the yellow.
Yeah, who's being a big dick to Nynaeve lately. Which makes sense. Like, Nynaeve's trying to get into the yellows.
All the yellows are, like, mad.
Yeah, but Romonda's special. Like, Nynaeve specifically pointed out that Romonda is being very hard on her.
Yeah.
It makes sense, because she's, like, the head of the yellows or whatever, right?
And so, she doesn't like that this non-Aes Sedai is calling herself yellow.
Coming in, yeah.
Like, we didn't accept you into the yellows. Stop calling yourself yellow.
Yeah. Also, one consideration...
We didn't tell you could be in our club.
One thing I want you to consider is that after Nynaeve officially becomes Aes Sedai, she is the tippy top of the hierarchy chain for all Aes Sedai.
Because of power.
Because of hierarchy of power levels. So just as you understand, everything these Aes Sedai are doing up until the point tomorrow's the day, is when she becomes the top of the food chain, and everybody else is just left with whatever leverage they could hold over her up until that point.
That's a really good point that I didn't really think about.
Yeah, so think about that as we go through like this chapter, about everybody who's doing stuff, and maybe why they're a little bit against her coming in, because she is going to be so much more powerful. Like, she'll be ahead of Cadsuane.
Yeah.
Probably, and not like Cadsuane's going to...
No, and ahead of Egwene, and ahead of Elaine.
Everybody.
And,
except for, like, power positions, like being Amyrlin's seat. Like that, and Cadsuane for being who she is. But, like, other than that, Nynaeve is the top.
Right.
So...
Okay, we also have Rubinda from
Green.
the green.
Yeah.
We have Barrisine from the red, who was a part of Egwene's original capture and was like one of the ones who was fork rooting her all the time.
Yeah.
I think. And then Lelaine, or Lelani, however you want to say it. And then Sayarin, who's kind of emerged as a bit of a leader. Yeah,
the brown. Yeah, I like her.
She was part of the original Black Aja Hunter crew.
Yeah. Who like came in and took control.
Certainly did.
When you don't expect that from a brown.
Because of a ink smudge.
Yeah, she's like, whoa. I know things now.
Are you telling me you're clear of mind?
Okay.
With a smudge on your nose?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 7 Aes Sedai plus Egwene.
Oh, because Egwene's there.
Well, 7 plus Egwene.
Yeah.
The extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Nynaeve knows a little bit about this testing too, because for the accepted test, the Terangriel creates stuff, but for this, the Aes Sedai are the ones who create the scenarios.
That's right.
Right, so it's a little bit different.
And Nynaeve thinks about how Egwene is probably going to be especially harsh on her to show that she was right to raise Nynaeve. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's a real positive way of looking at that.
Yeah.
You know? I like to put some sugar on my Rice Krispies every once in a while.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what's really funny too? So again, more of Nynaeve's mentality for this entire chapter is so funny to me because she's like nervous when she's going into this.
Yeah.
And she's got the jitters and she thinks, okay, the last battle is coming. It's around the corner and I'm going to be facing literally the Dark One and Armageddon and everything, but I can't fail this test.
Yeah.
And it's like, that really
It would be
speaks to
really
me.
embarrassing.
Where you have some big life event coming up and it's like you have a school test and you're like, oh, I really got to pass the test. And it's like, it doesn't really matter in the scheme of things.
In the scheme of things, no. However, she's working so hard to prove herself.
I know.
It is so much. This is the big life event. This isn't just some science test.
Except it's a big life event, but again, around the corner is the last battle.
Yes.
Which should be more terrifying.
Absolutely. However, getting to that big life event is going to be so much easier for her as an Aes Sedai
debatable.
Who is accepted as an Aes Sedai by other Aes Sedai.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe.
Because what happens if they don't say she's an Aes Sedai?
She goes back to Rand.
Yeah, I know, but then they're like, you can't channel, you whatever. Like, they would try to put rules on her.
Maybe.
They would try.
Maybe.
It would make her life harder.
Maybe.
It would make her life a little more challenging.
Okay.
I think.
I'll accept that maybe that's true.
That's my opinion.
Okay. All right. Anyways, we have a test to do here. So we should probably, we got to get to it because we got all the ceremony stuff again.
Yep.
And it's the same as when we saw Moraine go through it. They haven't changed it in the last 20 years. So that's good, I guess.
Is it? Is it good?
Yep. Okay. And we do all the formal stuff. And we don't say the way back comes but once.
It's like how our
yeah.
kid's teacher is still using
stuff from 1995.
So from like when I was in grade 1.
Yeah. And you're like, hey.
And I'm like, hey.
Education has changed.
Hey, lady.
In 30 years.
Maybe.
No, it's fine.
Maybe something different.
Okay.
Nah. Tried and true.
Tried and true. It worked 30 years ago, maybe?
I don't know. Okay. I'm really bad at spelling. Nobody taught me what letter sounds were. Right. We didn't really do that in the 90s.
Okay. So, back to this, though.
Yeah.
Back to this. We're not doing the way back comes but once, be steadfast. We're doing a remember what must be remembered, 6-pointed star, not like the archway, and then run through it. So it is an archway, but it's like a star to highlight where you got to go in the test, do the channeling, and then boom, move on to the next one.
It's like save point.
Exactly. Yeah, save point. There you go.
Yeah.
Except there is no saves, and you might just die.
It's actually memory wipes.
You don't get to reload at the save point where you last
No,
failed.
but it's like the end of a level, almost.
Yeah.
And then you move on to the next level.
Yeah.
So it is a save point.
You know what? You know what's more important than all this?
What?
Boobs out. Got to do with your boobs out, otherwise it doesn't work.
You have to be naked.
You got to be naked.
You have to be.
Yeah.
I don't even know why we have to mention it. It's just a given.
Yeah. The clothes will break the triangle. If you go in with clothes, broken. It breaks the triangle every time.
Shouldn't even have gone in with hair.
Probably not. I got nothing.
Okay.
Clad in the light or whatever they call it. I don't know.
Whatever.
Right. Birthday suit.
It's mostly just to embarrass her.
Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah. Because I'm just thinking, like, putting an Aiel through that. They're like, yeah, okay. But again,
they don't care.
They don't care. Doesn't matter. Yeah. And even Nynaeve, after like 50 of them, it's like, it doesn't matter anymore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Last part, before we actually get into these tests.
Yep.
Nynaeve also is going to not play by the rules 100%. Because we know this is a very ceremony type thing, right? And there's words you're supposed to say.
She basically says
She's altering it and basically saying it is
know
not what doing a ceremony is about.
This is the part of Nynaeve that I love because this is the part about me that I like.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of things about Nynaeve that are like, oh, those are my weaknesses. That sucks.
Yeah.
However, this kind of thing I do all the time.
Yeah.
And
it's the gist of it. Basically what, you got the point across. So as an example, so people know what we're talking about. And you can't make me
say something that's like I'm really not comfortable saying.
You're not going to say it.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay, so instead of saying she's doing this test to learn whether or not she's worthy, she says to show that I am worthy.
Yeah.
Because I already got this Aes Sedai-ness going on here.
Frick yeah.
Yeah, so she is all about that. And
then they all like purse their lips.
Even Egwene's like, what's the ceremony and such?
Who cares? Egwene, give it up.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I want to see you go through this test.
You don't know. Okay, and I got to talk about Egwene later in this chapter.
Yeah.
Like up on her pedestal, who knows everything all of a sudden. No, Egwene.
Yeah, not all of a sudden. She's known it forever. She's always known everything. This isn't all of a sudden.
Oh, right.
Right?
Well, no, I liked when she was asking lots of questions. Actually, no, I didn't. That annoyed me. I was like, just shut your mouth for a second. I remember now.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Are we ready to get into these tests? The testing.
Sure. I think this is probably a natural break point.
Okay, and then we'll do the testing.
And then we jump in to the testing.
Jump in, boobs out, let's go. Hit the ground
I can't wait. It's my favorite part of any book when the boobs come out.
There we go.
Okay, so we're back.
Yeah.
And we are ready. We are naked and we are ready to be tested.
Yeah, let's do this.
So Nynaeve steps through the triangle and all of a sudden, she doesn't know where she is.
Right. It's the memory wipe. Like, you know what you have to know and that's it. So she's in a village, there's a bunch of huts, some sort of island, there's a big mountain, we don't know it's a volcano yet, but the first thing she has to do, find some clothes. She can't just be walking around naked. That'd be startling. People in the village are looking at her. Being like, who's this lady? Naked. Right? Okay. This isn't one of those naked villages. No. Okay, more importantly, the mountain starts to erupt. And boulders come crashing down the mountain. So, okay, my initial thoughts, I love this because I think it's going one way, and then it doesn't go that way with the testing. So we know that the Aes Sedai have to learn these 100 weaves.
Yes.
And we've heard them all complain about, why do I have to learn this weave? It's so easy. It's so boring. Stop boring me with your weaves. I've memorized them, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Right? And the very first thing she has to do is create a wall of air to prevent the mountain boulder crashing into her.
Yeah.
And she does the weave number 1, which is the wall of air, and blocks the boulder. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, dang, there's 100 scenarios and 100 important weaves that we're going to teach Aes Sedai how to use in situational situations. Like, I don't even know, but they're going to be critical for them to know. It's like, these are fundamental weaves that all Aes Sedai should know.
And like when you're out
and
in the world.
when you should use them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's a scenario.
Here's a scenario.
Yeah.
This would have been an appropriate situation to use this weave. Boom, here's a test.
Yeah.
And then it's not that.
It's not.
It's
that would
for
just
some.
It would
it's
just be
not that for all of them.
That also perfectly defines Aes Sedai, I'd say.
I know.
Yeah.
And then we're throwing on
like,
top of that.
so almost useful.
Like we came so close where we could have done something really good as a test to become Aes Sedai.
We could have done something really good
Yeah.
to, being Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And instead, we just squabble and mess it up.
We didn't do that.
Yeah.
We didn't do that thing. Yeah, so that's like my first thing, because she does
it. Turned it into this like elitist society.
I know.
And it's like, no,
yeah,
you guys
you
did
missed
it
the
wrong.
Point. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, because they also have this dumb rule where you're never allowed to talk about any of the tests. So what was the original purpose of all these? Like maybe
this was punishment.
Maybe the original purpose was something more useful, but nobody's allowed
where
to talk about it.
Where you could go in and practice scenarios.
Yeah. And now nobody talks about it. And it's like, oh, actually, we should be doing this. And now it's just like, I don't know, I'll just come up with scenarios.
Probably one time something happened that was like really embarrassing where everybody
like,
fucked
up. Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that.
And then they're like, we just made this rule.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
Not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Ever again. And everyone's like, deal.
One person was totally cool with being too comfortable being naked, and they're like, okay, we're not going to
got completely out of hand.
Yeah.
Just turned into a big imaginary orgy. They're
crazy.
all like, never mind. We don't talk about this.
We don't talk about this anymore. That's the rule.
You're Aes Sedai. Move on. Okay. Now that's the rule. No one talks about what happens here.
I think we figured out why they don't talk about it anymore. What happens in the Aes Sedai testing stays in the Aes Sedai testing.
Yuck.
Okay.
Anyway, she saves herself from the boulders and shit.
Doesn't save everybody else.
But other people are getting hurt and she wants to go heal them. Mm-hmm. But she knows she has to go walk to the star
shows
appeared.
up. Yeah, star shows up.
And then she's like, I don't understand why I can't run and help people.
Right.
But I have to go to this star for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we're on to, that's the first one.
There
we go. Okay. And now we're on to the second weave. So she's in some cavern. She walks out and she's in the waste. And then this one's like a little bit less dramatic, except there's a bunch of Trollocs that are coming.
Except whatever Aes Sedai is creating these Trollocs, have never seen Trollocs before.
Interesting. I was wondering if you're going to say that, because we get like these weird versions of Trollocs a few times.
And Nynaeve's like, I've seen Trollocs.
And that's not what they look like.
That is not Trollocs, like in any variation.
And we don't need to make Trollocs look bigger and scarier. They're already big and scary.
Yeah, well, it just feels like this is just
it's
a big
like that painting of the person who'd never seen a lion, and they're like, hey, paint this lion. And you get this weird half dog lion thing, and you're like, that's not a lion.
Well, and then it has like a person's face.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't know what you wanted me to draw here.
That is a thing that I saw in real life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So that might be what's happening.
I think
here.
so.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Even if that's not right,
because at
I like
first, Nynaeve is like, what is that?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it could be a Trolloc, but like, that's not what Trollocs look like.
That's good.
It's like if somebody was describing a Trolloc to a child who was then drawing
the Trolloc. Okay, so yeah.
That sounds like a fun, like, let's do that.
Describe monsters to our children and get them to draw them?
Yeah.
Sure.
That sounds like fun.
It's great. Right before bed. Okay, good night. Good night, children.
I was thinking for like a cute like Halloween art project or something to like put up on the walls.
Yeah, okay. Not a way to traumatize
your like
kids.
Funny monsters.
Okay. So anyways, back to this, because there's Trollocs come. There's a whole lot. She doesn't break into a run, and she's like, this is still stupid. Why? Who doesn't run when there's Trollocs? Like, even if you're going to go fight, like, what are we doing here? But she has to walk, so then she starts doing the second weave, which is not useful, but then she splits off fire and starts burninating the Trollocs, so that's fine, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, she does it again, so that's cool.
Cool.
We have 100 of these. Like, we got to get moving here.
Yeah.
Yeah. we don't have 100 to describe, but these scenarios aren't like that crazy necessarily at the beginning here.
No. And so, do we see the first 2? Because
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if we saw the first 3.
We get first 2.
Okay.
And then we're on to
47.
the end of 47 or something.
So I was right at the beginning, I think. I think 47 and 81 for sure we see.
Yeah. So this is the one where it's like we kind of get to see the end of one because she just finished the 47th weave.
And then
which
there's
makes the sound of
bells in the air.
And then she has to like leap off a tower into the archway that's like parallel to the ground. Some crazy acrobatic maneuver here.
But she's exhausted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, she's not even halfway done. Like, I'm tired for her at this point, and I've only seen 3.
Yeah. And you're like, whoa.
And I'm like, oh no.
100.
Yeah, I was really feeling some sympathy.
Yeah.
Like real empathy for...
It's like you got to catch the second wind though,
90.
right?
Oh yeah, and just that stubborn nature. Like, she is not stopping.
Yeah.
Good for her.
So at some point she also is getting the impression, because again, in this testing, we kind of understand that Nynaeve has a bit more awareness of what's going on than she probably should.
Yes.
She's like learning and catching on that shouldn't be happening.
Well, because it was like her and especially Egwene in the accepted test.
Yeah.
Like, knew way too much.
They know too much, and it's not where the rules are not working, because again, we're using these tests on people who are way too involved with the world of dreams. We'll talk about that when we get there. But again,
and who are like significantly stronger,
like way stronger
than anyone has been
like, this
in a very long time.
Is not used for this.
Yeah.
This is a vacation machine, okay?
Yeah, this is the vacation chair.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, Nynaeve's getting the impression.
Vacation simulator.
Yeah, so she's getting the impression that some of the Aes Sedai like really want her to fail, because these tests are kind of getting outrageous here.
And she's like, good thing I'm the best.
Yeah.
I'll show them.
So then she moves into the 48th one, which is a bunch of stupid bugs and flies. She's in a swamp, and then all the bugs try to
I would hate this.
Go down her mouth and
I
stuff.
hate the buzzing.
Yeah.
I like viscerally felt this one.
Yeah, and then she hears the child crying in the bog or whatever they're in.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh man, I gotta finish the weave and I'm choking on flies and stuff.
And like, why do I have to be calm during this?
Yeah.
Because this really sucks.
This is the perfect situation to not be calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
anyway,
but
she makes
does it. Good job. You did it. And she doesn't go to save the child that she maybe hears, and maybe it's a fake child.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all fake, because it's like...
it's all fake.
But that's the thing. It doesn't necessarily feel fake.
Right. Okay.
So, okay. On to the next one.
Oh, the sick children in their sick beds who are all abandoned orphans.
Oh, no. Yeah. And Mistress Mala, where'd she go? She's been gone forever.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. It is also really sad, because we know that this breaks Nynaeve's heart. Like, this is her soft spot of, like, one of the soft spots. It's like sick children.
Yeah.
100%. And then she's like, I've been through this before, because we for sure got something like this already.
Yeah.
With the accepted test. And it's like, we really don't do well with the sick children things.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And also, we haven't seen, like, 40 of these.
Yeah.
So.
And apparently there's a theme like, leaving children behind.
Yeah.
It really
sick
makes
children, specifically just like make Nynaeve leave as many sick children as she can.
But it's like, this is a huge mistake, because, you know, you're not solidifying the fact for her that she wants to become Aes Sedai. You're solidifying the fact that,
that's not what they want, clearly, though.
I know.
Maybe that's the point you told me to think about.
I don't think they're that smart.
I think that some of them are pretty manipulative. I think they're pretty crafty.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's just like, this is... The intention is to make her be like, okay, nothing is more important than the tower.
Yeah.
But then also it's like, how many children have to die for me to pledge allegiance to the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, she doesn't like it, but she does it anyways. She has to leave them behind.
Yeah.
And...
She's like, I can't channel, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But I'll just make them some herbs. Where's my herb pouch?
Ah, shoot. Yeah. And this is one of the weaves here that's, like, completely useless.
Yeah.
And this is when it really starts setting on me that it's like, okay, these weaves are just, like, they're fluff. Like, you blow out jets of air and it fluffles your skirt or something. It's like, what situation do I need to know that?
You know.
Yeah, show me a scenario where it's like, hey, in this situation, this would be very handy.
It's really good to hear, make bells, tinkle, tinkle. Like,
sure. Like, there could be some scenario like that you could come up with.
Like a word or an alarm of some kind.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, not like that wall of air blocking the stones.
That was great.
Yeah. This, not so much. Okay, we left the children. Hooray. Time shift on to the next one.
Okay.
Got to keep moving here.
Yeah.
Then we kind of get like a synopsis.
It's like a fast forward montage.
Yeah, she has to leave people that are drowning or getting beheaded or buried alive. There's one where there's giant spiders eating people.
Of course there is.
She particularly didn't like that one. There was a spider one with Moraine's testing too.
Was there? I don't remember.
Yeah, don't like that. Anyways, sometimes she's naked, sometimes she's not. It doesn't
One
bother her
time
anymore.
she had to wear pink and red and yellow.
Oh, man.
So,
and there's like a little too much red.
So garish.
Yeah. Who would do this?
Oh, why would I wear this?
Yeah. Okay, now we're on the 81st weave.
Okay, is that when we get to the Two Rivers?
Yeah, this is the Two Rivers one. Yeah.
Okay. And it's super interesting because we have shadow spawn, like weird tentacled shadow spawn.
Yeah, that are like reaching over the walls and
attacking. It kind of reminds
Perrin.
me of a real like dream that like I would have as a real person.
Yeah.
Where you like, where things in the dream, you're like, that's a shadow spawn. But then you wake up and you're like, that doesn't exist.
Right.
Like, but in your dream, it's real and it makes sense.
Okay.
But it doesn't fit reality in reality.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
so
person
like,
also hasn't met Shadow Spawn.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what if the Shadow Spawn were bigger and they had tentacles?
And they were the Kraken.
And they were coming at you over the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's happening. And Master Alvere's here.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Perrin.
Yeah.
Everybody.
No, mostly just those two.
Okay. But there's lots of people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's Perrin, and he's like, help us, Nynaeve, help us.
Yeah. And this is where Nynaeve's starting to kind of get more of her thoughts back, where she's like, I know I am supposed to be calm, and I know I'm not supposed to channel till I get to the star.
Screw it.
Yeah, but like, what the heck is the point? Like, what's the point of being calm just for the sake of being calm? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So then she starts like throwing fireballs.
Well, she runs to the star.
Yeah, she does. She's not supposed to do that.
You know, she runs.
But she
does
runs.
not maintain her demure composure.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And she just starts making these circle fires.
Well, because the weave that
Yes.
she's supposed to do is like rings of fire.
Yeah.
But she's like, I can make them gigantic.
No, and in the testing, it's supposed to be like circus act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's like giant flaming death wheel of fire.
Yeah, she makes them big and she chucks them at the weird Kraken shadow spawn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, super useful weave. You could potentially teach Aes Sedai how to make that.
Big circle spinning fire.
Here's some good stuff for killing monsters with.
I feel like most Aes Sedai, though, aren't as strong and natural with the power. Because a couple times she says something like she's making these without even thinking.
Yeah, and we know that she's way
making
better.
them fast because she's like splitting her weaves.
Yeah,
and
we know
things
that not all Aes Sedai
other
can
Aes
do
Sedai definitely can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the point, is that we could
Yes.
teach more useful things.
Right.
That's fine. I'm just going to keep saying that over and over again. Okay. So.
Okay, anyway, she has to leave the Two Rivers
we have to
behind.
leave. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. And it is really funny because, okay, so just as a side
Is
note.
funny the word you want to say there?
No.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think so. I was like, what's funny
Notable.
here? Okay.
It's notable that as she's running, she's like, oh, I'm going to start channeling before I get to the rings. And a shield-like thing is trying to stop her.
Oh, yeah.
And she
just like pushes
like,
past.
no.
She like bats it away.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it, thanks.
Yeah.
A little bit funny.
That is a little funny.
Notable and slightly humorous.
Slightly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we made it.
We made it to the 100th.
Ooh, the last
weave.
one. Last one. Here we go.
Okay, so she's naked again. She finds a dress, but it's a stupid acceptance dress. And she's like,
no.
F this.
Naked.
F this.
Better to be naked.
And she's exhausted and bleeding, and her legs are flayed, and her head is hurting, and her braid is gone. And
yeah, her braid's like been burned off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, that's the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Nynaeve was short hair. It's
Yeah.
great. Okay. Anyways, but then after rejecting the accepted dress, she finds a yellow dress.
And she puts it on.
Yeah, and it's funny because this is one of the ones that Egwene created for her. So like that's she built that into the scenario.
Yeah, she did.
It's good. Okay. And then we see, oh, we're in Melchior. And it's like, oh, okay. We're doing this again.
Uh-huh. And now we have a pack of darkhounds, and Lan is fighting them. And she's like, oh, no, I have to help Lan.
Not Lan, because last time at the accepted test, she had to leave Lan behind.
Yeah, and she had to make that choice.
She made the choice.
And she's like, this time, you know what I'm not going to do?
Screw it.
Make that stupid choice.
Yeah, it's actually really cute, because at first, so the Darkhounds are attacking Lan, and Lan's like whatever
I wouldn't say
version
cute.
of Lan.
I would say badass.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with what I said.
'Kay.
I think it's cute.
That's badass.
Because, like, this version of Lan, because it's not really Lan, is like, no, go away, you run away, Nynaeve, save
and she
yourself.
doesn't. It's not.
And she does, and she
it's
runs
badass.
to him. Well, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna try and use fire, but the fire doesn't work. And then she's like,
So
I
she's
know
like,
what'll kill him.
I know. Balefire. And I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Tear the pattern apart. Love it. Okay.
In the terangrial, though, it's fine. It's not real.
Is it fine?
Yeah.
The Aes Sedai don't seem to think so.
I don't care what they think.
Okay. So anyways, she makes it to land. Then they're like hustling back together. And then it's cute because Lan tries to be like, no, go. And then she like, I don't know, bear hugs him and like pulls him through. So they go through the archway together back.
But she lands back by herself.
Because like fake Lan doesn't come through, obviously. He's not
right.
real in there.
He's not real.
Yeah.
But she tried.
She did, and she saved him this time, but she did it.
And it was a lot of balefire.
Like
we're
a lot
really
of balefire.
Skimming through these.
Yeah. There's a lot of balefire.
We could do an entire bonus episode just breaking down like all of these scenes and stuff. But there's
a lot of balefire.
There's a lot.
And Darkhound's just like, keep coming.
Keep coming.
Yeah, because Egwene is, I guess, simulating more and more. Like I don't really know how it works. Is
Me
it like
neither.
preset, or is it like in the moment you're adding stuff? Like I don't really know.
It's like improv.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Egwene's like writing the lines
yes
down.
Yes and.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you get it. Yeah. Okay. No but. It's yes and no but.
Oh.
Or you can do reversal. No and yes.
Oh, I didn't
but.
know there was ever a no. You always have to say yes in improv.
If you're doing a only say yes thing.
Oh, I guess they're different games.
I guess so. I've never done improv.
No, me neither.
Yeah. It's the rules for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
See.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's improv.
Yeah. Like as a.
You know what? I would say that Dungeons and Dragons is a form of improv.
Yeah, but I'm not acting. I'm just being.
No, you are.
Being a character.
That's what acting is.
I am that person.
That.
Yeah.
My friend.
No.
Is acting.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's very cute. We did it. We saved Lan. Ain't no way she's abandoning him again. It's fantastic. I love the choice that she makes, and it's going to come around eventually.
Right.
In like 20 minutes when we get there. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
So she is done the test. She heads back through the terangrial, and all of a sudden she remembers all 100 scenarios.
Yeah, and she's like on the ground crying and whatever.
And she's like pretty much next to dead.
Yeah.
Like bleeding and out of breath and
you know what? There
can't
isn't
walk
this time. There's no buckets of water that they're throwing on you. It's like, you're washed clean.
Splash,
oh, no,
right? That was before. She already did that.
Yeah, I know, but they
don't
could
do it
be,
again.
You could be.
No.
I kind of like that idea.
You do?
Throw water on, yeah.
It's rude. It's the worst.
Water bucket challenge or whatever.
Oh, the ice,
ice
the
bucket
ALS
challenge.
ice bucket challenge.
Okay. We did it. We passed the test. We're through. Well, we didn't pass it.
Oh,
whoa. We finished the test.
Whoa,
okay, take a break, and then we'll talk about the ramifications.
You need to slow down.
I know.
We had a bunch to talk about still.
Okay.
Yeah. Break time?
Yep. And then we will come back.
Okay, and I have something to say, and you may need to prepare shots during this break.
What could you possibly... Okay. No, that's fine.
I want you to think it through and see if you can figure out...
In regards to the test?
In regards to the scene that's going to happen next.
Okay.
And I'll leave you with that.
Okay.
Hey, okay, so we're back.
Right. Okay.
Now, we have Nynaeve, who has just finished her testing.
Mm-hmm.
She successfully completed all 100 weaves in order.
Yes.
And did not die.
Okay. And that relates to Harry
back.
Potter.
This doesn't.
You told me that something about this relates to Harry Potter, and I made a shot for it.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Okay.
It will be.
It will be.
5 minutes from now in the parking lot.
Oh, is that a Harry Potter thing?
No, that's Will Ferrell on SNL. It's so stupid and obscure.
Okay. I don't understand. So are we just going to keep going?
I'm going to let you know.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
this what? Like immediately no.
Sure.
Soon, yes.
Okay. All right. So first off, Nynaeve's in terrible shape, and then Saren's like, somebody heal her. What the hell is happening here?
Yeah.
What's going on? And then once it appears that she's going to live.
What is going on?
Yeah. Saren starts ripping into the sisters.
What was that?
Someone better start talking now.
I've been part of a lot of these where even people have died.
Yeah.
And it's never been like that.
Yeah, like this was so bad. You don't put people
You
through
got
this.
some splaining to do.
Yeah, and Rubinda is like, well, she had to be tested properly. But Saren is pissed and is like, that wasn't proper. That was vengeful. And basically, this was so out of line. This was bad.
Yeah.
This was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter because Greysin speaks up and she's like, it doesn't matter. She failed the test.
She failed anyway. Kick her out.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And then Nynaeve's like, what?
Well, and then she's like, okay, yeah, no, I actually suspected.
And then she
that.
goes, well,
yeah, that makes
you
sense.
weren't calm.
Yeah.
And you didn't follow the rules, so you failed.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, okay, no, I definitely didn't follow the rules. Because she in her mind, she's like, yeah, no, I definitely didn't follow the rules.
Yeah.
And she's going to argue against it in a second. But, like, for now, it's like, yep, no, you failed. And Lelaine, the blue, and you think that all the blues are good because they're blue. But Lelaine's like...
No, I never liked Lelaine.
Okay.
Lelaine and Romanda suck.
I know, but it's like...
Because they were against Egwene. It doesn't matter what color they are.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, so Lelaine's like, yeah, no, I agree that the job was to be calm like an Aes Sedai, and you didn't do that.
And you were not.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Siain, not Saren, Siain,
right,
agrees with Greysin that she's got a point, but she's like, it's more like an irregularity.
And you know what, Nynaeve? Like, you were openly furious at times. However, the things you were subjected to would or should make anyone furious.
Yeah. So she's kind of like arguing like, yes, this wasn't exactly the way that it usually goes, but it's not necessarily meaning that you should be kicked out. Like, that's not what it particularly... And we also got to talk about the fact that you used the Forbidden Weave. We're going to get to that.
Oh.
But then we get to one of my favorite parts where Nynaeve is going to ask them a bunch of questions and she's like, who among you wouldn't run if you saw people in danger? It's like,
and
all of
who
them
wouldn't attack Shadow Spawn?
It's like most of these Aes Sedai
That's how Aes Sedai should act.
And I agree with her. That is how Aes Sedai should act.
Yeah, should we be calm for the sake of being calm?
I agree.
Is that what an Aes Sedai equals?
It's like, I agree what the point you're trying to make is, but all these Aes Sedai are going to be like,
they haven't experienced it.
I'm not going to run. I'm
they
going to maintain
wouldn't.
composure. I'm going to be calm, and I'm going to walk, even if it means people die.
Well, it's like 100 years of habit at this point.
Yeah, you don't just change that.
You don't.
No.
Old dogs, you know? There's a saying.
Right. Got to shoot him in the head and the back.
Yeah.
Right?
Side note, another thing about kids, I saw a really funny video where someone was asking their kids to finish sayings.
Sure.
And then the kids, like, just say silly things.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like, you can't teach an old dog, and then like they would like be like to run or something like
that was the worst example.
I know,
you had to be there.
I was just thinking of like these funny sayings that like kids haven't heard or don't know.
Okay.
And
I'm just gonna believe you that it was really funny.
Well, I'll find it or so. I'll never find it again. But it was funny.
Yeah. Okay. I believe you that it was funny.
I'll do it with
Your
our
example,
kids at the same time
sure.
that we're doing the monster drawings.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to it. Nynaeve makes a very good point, and she says, the goal of this test was to prove that I deserve to be an Aes Sedai, and basically seeing the lives of the people as more important than gaining the title of Aes Sedai. Like, if losing the title of Aes Sedai is what it costs to save these people's lives, she's willing to pay that.
Yeah.
And
I think that's ultimately what it means to be an Aes Sedai.
And if you do anything else, then it's just selfish. And in reality, she's got a very good point. If you refuse to run just for the sake of not running and people die because of it, that's selfish. That's bad.
Yeah.
Bad Aes Sedai.
Bad people.
Bad people.
In general.
In general, exactly. You can hustle. You can hustle.
You can hustle your bustle.
Yeah, and that's why I like Moiraine, because she'll hustle around.
She certainly does.
If she needs to hustle, she will hustle. Okay.
And she probably also has a bustle.
Probably.
Hustles or bustle.
You'd have to assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so now all the Aes Sedai are going to go off and chat with each other because they got to figure out what to do. Egwene isn't allowed to vote in this. This is just the Seven Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a little one-on-one here, Egwene and Nynaeve.
Yeah. Now, in this scenario...
Sure.
Nynaeve is like over sitting on a bench.
Is this the thing?
Yeah. Who does Egwene remind you of who comes over with all this sage wisdom advice, like wisdomly advice on a random bench, just giving a bunch of nonsense advice that doesn't actually matter?
Is this Harry Potter reference?
Yeah, it is.
Dumbledore.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I just assumed, like, sagely. Okay, what, when, where?
Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear the end. What happens at the end of Harry Potter?
Sure, okay, I think we've... Does he die? He doesn't die.
It's when he's in his weird limbo land.
The train station.
The train station.
Train station. Was that what it was in the books?
Uh-huh.
Because I think that in the
and
little
like dead,
weird
dying
Voldemort baby. Right,
Voldemort
okay.
baby.
Was that in the books too?
That was in the book. Yep.
Was?
Yes,
little dying weird Voldemort
Oh,
baby.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's like, no soul, you
so
know?
Egwene is Dumbledore at the train station.
Yes.
Giving
just
wisdom.
Like wandering over. I could just like see her like shrouded in light. Sitting down.
Okay.
What do you think happened there?
Sure.
Like it's just very...
Yeah. Okay.
That's what... It just reminded me so much.
You know what? I'm going to have to take your word for it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know enough.
I know, that one got me. I was like, okay, Egwene.
All right, well, I poured the shots.
Here you did, okay.
All right.
You really didn't guess that. Can you pass it? I'm stuck over here.
I figured.
Okay.
I guessed right with the person. I have no context for the rest of it, but like if you're going to say who's going to wander on over to a bench, I have to assume it's the elderly man.
Yeah. Also, you know what? Maggie Smith, who played McGonagall, passed away.
Yeah.
So, shot for her.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
That's the one from Downton Abbey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And also lots of other roles.
Probably.
She lived to like 99. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Or 89. Super old.
Something like that.
Cheers.
And she was Scottish or something, right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about her.
She was certainly something. She had lots of accents.
We talked about her at a previous...
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because McGonagall is Scottish.
Right.
But I don't know about
if she
Maggie
is, or
Smith.
yeah, it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's
So
get back.
Betty White was 99?
Maybe.
They're all great.
Betty White dead?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Okay. I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a whole thing about like, I want to live a life so good that people are sad that I died at 99.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I feel about
Segue
Maggie
back
Smith
to
too.
Egwene. People will be sad when she dies. No, that does.
Oh, no.
99 is like young for us.
You suck at segues. Aren't you a professional at this?
Not really. Okay, anyway, so Egwene says, okay, so you angered and confused everybody.
Wow, you sucked.
Yeah, that
No,
was
just
just
kidding.
like
Just
a
kidding.
whole
She
lot of
doesn't say
stuff.
that.
So the issue is that Nynaeve was able to basically ignore the orders of the Aes Sedai in the test, which technically shouldn't be possible, which is also why there's actually some points that might work in favor of Nynaeve because she was able to ignore the directions. She's got too much training in Tel'aran'rhiod because
and she's much too strong and experienced for this.
It's like it kind of leads.
This is a really baby Aes Sedai test. When you're the babiest of baby Aes Sedais, you can do these things.
With zero knowledge or experience of the world of dreams, we're like forcing your will on reality.
Or zero knowledge of really the outside world.
That's true too.
And like actually experiencing things.
You live in the tower, you stay in the tower.
And like as an accepted, you sort of go on field trips.
Just because Tarvalin has a kebab shop doesn't mean that you're cultured.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've never had pad thai.
I love
pad thai.
You never had pad thai. It's so true. Okay.
I went to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. It's great. Okay. So yeah, that all lends itself in favor of Nynaeve because she really shouldn't.
She shouldn't even have been subjected to this test.
Yeah, she shouldn't have, and it's too late.
You know what though?
Test.
Tell the government I'm really an experienced driver. I'm too experienced for the driver.
I'm actually
test.
pretty sure that you can substitute. There's actually like a thing where you can substitute years of experience. It's like a weird backwards rule.
For driving?
For driving. It's like technically you can be considered licensed if you've driven long enough.
What?
So like technically if I don't, it's weird and I don't know exactly how
I think
accurate.
you need to look that up.
It's like if you like forgot to renew your driver's license but continued to drive for like 20 years, they won't make you redo it. It'll just be like, yeah, you're a driver and you have to reissue your license or whatever. Like there's some sort of weird rule about it.
Okay.
I don't think it ever comes into play.
Just
but like,
where we live or like everywhere?
I can't imagine it's everywhere.
Okay.
I can barely speak for this province.
That's fair.
I know it's like my job, but like it doesn't matter because it never comes up. I don't know. We'll read the help book. Yeah, okay. So, back to it. We have to figure out if
You're too
Nynaeve
good.
is gonna pass.
Yeah. Now, first, though, we're going to get Egwene admitting that she created the Two Rivers test.
Right.
And the land test because she didn't want for it to come across like she was going easy.
Yeah. Like playing favorites with the person who she raised.
Right.
Yeah. So she did the hard ones of the Two Rivers and land.
Honestly, there was a moment for me at the very beginning of all of this where I had flashbacks to Egwene being in control of Nynaeve in certain situations that were not lovely.
Telebranriad specifically.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was also thinking about Nynaeve's previous accepted test where there was some unpleasantness with a man. And so I was concerned for what we were going to see and hear about in this testing, but it really, I think, just played on her one solid emotion of not wanting to leave people hurt.
Yes. Which I think is a very noble feeling. Like, of
that's
all the things,
regular,
that's a good
like,
thing.
It's not selfish. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want all Aes Sedai. Be like, no, I want to help more people.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't be Aes Sedai. Which is what they're
You're
contemplating.
going to ask way too many questions.
Hate that. Don't like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Nynaeve has a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Egwene now and says, hey, I'm glad that I got to go through that land thing again because I realized that if I had to choose between becoming Aes Sedai
and saving Lan's life,
I'm going to choose Lan every time.
Every time because I love that I get to love.
Yeah. And then Egwene says, yeah, you're probably going to want to keep that to yourself for now. Like, let's not tell everyone that you're going to choose Lan over the White Tower.
Like, you're probably right, and I get it.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, and they have a whole discussion about Aes Sedai and how they're shut off from the world, and maybe we should think about having families and being a part of society.
It's a very philosophical discussion.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we might risk being arrogant if we continue on our path. It's like, yes, yeah,
you might risk it.
Yeah,
weird,
right?
Yeah,
and you're probably right about that too. But again, let's keep that to ourselves and get you past the test.
Yeah,
once you're Aes Sedai, you can change stuff. But
remember that thing I said about how people mistake my passion for being annoying?
Sure.
I feel like that's Nynaeve.
Sure.
She's just so passionate, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And once she is raised, she's going to be at the top of the hierarchy. She can work on affecting change. But right now,
same with Egwene. Egwene's trying, but you also have an entire hall, right? That's what it's called? Who are kind of important.
Right. So we need to basically just abolish the Hall of the Tower, make sure it's only Egwene who's making decisions here, and then everything will go right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Figured it out. There you go.
Uh-huh.
That can't possibly go wrong. Go poorly for anybody.
I feel like there are some adjustments that can be made, but maybe not that one. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Shoot. Okay. The sisters are done. They're done talking. They figured out what they want to do. So Saren comes up and says, okay, we got to talk about that balefire stuff first off.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Tell me about the forbidden weave you used.
Nynaeve says, well, that's the only thing I know that's going to kill Darkhounds.
And I wanted to fight.
Yeah. And Saren's like, you can't do that. And we want you to swear that you'll never use that weave again. And then he's like, no. No, not going to do that. She makes a good argument because she's like, okay, well, what happens if I'm at the last battle and I'm fighting the Dark One with Rand?
She doesn't say if.
Yeah.
She says when.
Hypothetically, I'm fighting the last battle.
She doesn't even say that. She's like, when I'm fighting the last battle with Rand at Shale Ghul.
And what happens if I need to use Balefire?
If I have to use it, do you want me to stick to your stupid, foolish oath?
Yeah.
Or
and I love
destroy
Rubinda.
The Dark One?
Because again, Rubinda's one of those I
don't know.
She's one of the no people who votes no for Nynaeve, but she's like, oh, you think you're going to Shale Ghul? And Nynaeve says, yes. Yeah, I know I am because Rand already asked.
Told me I'm going to be there.
And I would be there even if he didn't ask. Yeah. So shove it up your butt, Rubinda. Green Aja, last battle, what? Yeah. It's great.
And then Egwene finally speaks up. She sort of puts her opinion
She does.
into the air.
She doesn't have a vote.
No.
It's not even her opinion. She's just saying, hey, think of the consequences.
She puts her opinion in the air. She says, you should probably be careful about refusing the shawl to the person who helped cleanse the taint from Sidene, the person who defeated Moghedien in battle, and the woman who's married to the king of Melchior.
Yeah, it's like, let's be careful about that before we make a decision.
It could look bad.
Yeah.
If that person doesn't become an Aes Sedai.
Who's the strongest channeler by 1,000 times that we've ever seen.
1,000 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we get a vote. We get to vote, and they vote 4-3. Yes.
Yeah. I have Yukiri, Siain, and Romonda, of all people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, she's the yellow, so that's good, yeah.
And then we have Rubinda, Barasine, and Lalani.
Yeah, red, blue, and green say no. Like, what is this? The red, blue, and green are like the 3 most popular ones.
What?
When I think of the colors of the Ajahs, red, blue, and green are the popular kids.
Well, they're the good colors.
They're the good colors. And you have the white, gray, yellow, and brown as the ones who vote yes.
Those ones are the worst colors in my tattoo. I had to, when I was planning the tattoo of all the Ajah colors.
Yeah.
Next, like, to each other in a wheel.
Where's my orange? Where's my purple?
I had to make sure that the white and the gray weren't beside each other. Yeah. But then I also didn't want, like, gray and brown beside each other. I had to spread out yellow, green,
the boring
blue,
colors.
and red.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I know.
Totally. Okay, anyways, the holdout vote.
I think Lalani basically just says no because Romonda said yes. I think they still hate each other.
Yeah, that's probably a very good opinion of things.
And then we have Saren. I still hate reading
Saren's
her
the
name.
brown who's like in charge of that. And she's
like, fine, I'm the tiebreaker and I say yes.
That's what she's waiting for.
Because you guys suck.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do it.
Good.
And she's Aes Sedai. And she's going to have to follow some traditions like having that night in prayer and contemplation.
Almost Aes Sedai.
Okay. So she's going to be raised tomorrow. She has to spend one night in contemplation and prayer, thinking of the burden she'll take up on the morrow.
Putting mice in people's beds.
Yeah, exactly. But first, she's like, I'll do your traditions. But first, I have one thing I really need to do. Mm-hmm. And I love it.
Yeah, right away. I was like, I almost wish it was a cliffhanger so that I could predict it right.
It's funny because I always get surprised by things that are like super obvious.
It's super obvious. I was like, she's going to get Lan's bond.
Even on the reread, I'm always like, oh, right. She's not bonded to Lan.
Yeah. I was like, now she's officially Aes Sedai, she's going to get Lan's bond.
Yeah.
Like, immediately. But what I didn't remember was who had the bond. Because I knew someone else did.
Right.
I didn't remember their name, and I knew that she was going to go to them, but I didn't know where they were.
Right.
And so I was like...
Those are the two most important things about it.
I knew she was going to get it from the person who had it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have told you any more details. Who could forget?
Morale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I can.
Yeah.
Very easily, because there are 1,000 names of stupid Aes Sedai.
Sure.
They're stupid.
She's like the most important green.
I would
save Lan's life.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
However, when was the last time you think her name was written in print?
Oh, a long time ago, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you were like, pop quiz, who has Lan's bond right now? I'd be like, someone Moraine trusted.
Yep. Trusted to save Lan's life.
Yeah. Agreed.
The most experienced person in saving warders' lives.
Right.
Not necessarily that she trusted her the most.
Good point. Good point.
She trusted that she had the most experience to save Lan's life.
It's Morale.
Yeah. Okay. So, little time shift.
Yeah.
And we're going to zippity zap, jump on over using gateways to where Morel's at, which is...
And I just found that out.
Yeah.
Because I for sure didn't know this. Yeah. Like... I probably, you could have led me to the name Morale, probably.
Maybe.
I would never in 1,000 years have remembered that she's at the Black Tower.
Right. There's an alternate tower full of men.
I know.
That's
and I know that there's a bunch there.
Right.
And it's bad. I remember Pavara's there.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Those were the tower ones who went in and they're not, it's a bad situation. And then the Rand came and renegotiated, was like, hey, Egwene, you can have people too.
With the rebel camp.
Yeah, exactly.
When they were still the rebel camp.
Yeah, and then there's those people who went to go, but now they're just sitting waiting outside the Black Tower because apparently somebody else has priority here, so they're just like waiting, and Nynaeve does not have time to get any of this stuff. Like, it doesn't matter.
She doesn't want any
I don't
of
want
this
to hear about
information.
it.
She doesn't give
I don't care about it.
Flying rat's butt.
You do what you got to do outside the Black Tower here. And she goes to the tent of where
someone
Morel
gave
is.
her the name.
Yeah, they let her in.
Exactly where she is.
Yep.
And is like, hey, Morel, get your ass out here.
She's very kind and sweet. Hello, Morel. I have something to talk to you about. Please come here,
and then
please.
Morel steps out and is surprised and is like, child?
Right.
What are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And then Nynaeve is like, you have something that belongs to me. I was raised today, formally. I passed the testing, and we are equals now.
Yeah.
But with a caveat, because Nynaeve is so strong.
Oh, way more powerful.
That we will never be equal ever again.
Yeah. I love how Morel tries to push her off, and he's like, oh, come back tomorrow. I'm busy. And she's in the tent with like one of her warders.
Yeah, she's like, just doing it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You'd have to assume.
Yeah. Or just like maybe playing a game of crib.
She's
fun.
in like a translucent, see-through-ish?
Yep.
Okay, and then the warder's like shirt off and stuff in there.
A good game
playing cards.
Game of rummy.
Yeah, it's really hot, so that,
Oh.
Okay, anyways.
Weather-wise, it's warm.
Yeah, Nynaeve is trying to be diplomatic at first, and then Morel's trying to brush her off, so then Nynaeve's going to go not diplomatic. And she's going to catch Morel before...
Well, she sort of says something nice.
She does. She's like, well, okay. She starts nice. She's like, hey, I never thanked you. You saved Lan's life.
Because of you.
Yeah.
I realize that.
However,
if you don't pass me that bond right now, I will teach you the meaning of obedience.
Yep. I swear the three oaths tomorrow. Tonight I'm free of them. So it's like, you better.
Yeah. Morel freezes, thinks about it, sighs, and then gives the bond.
Yeah, there we go. Weave. Something.
Weave. Mind.
Yeah.
Feelings. Lan's alive.
Hooray.
You know what I want to see? I wish that this chapter ended with one paragraph of Lan.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because at this point, he's so far away.
Yeah.
Would he even recognize that A, something changed?
What do you think?
Or B, it's Nynaeve now. You know? Like,
what do you think?
Because all he can feel is emotions and stuff.
The only thing he feels right now is annoyed at all the people who are probably following
passing
him.
his bond.
Yeah. No, all the people following him.
Oh!
He's annoyed right now.
In the Borderlands. He's so annoyed. Because right now we're at 5, right? I keep waiting for another perspective where it's like, and 8,000 becomes 9,000.
40,000 people just walking beside Lan, not acknowledging him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's super annoyed probably.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does he know?
I want to believe that their bond is so strong, like their love bond.
Okay. Yep.
That he would automatically know that the feelings in his head.
Yeah, like, what's that? Oh,
is not Morel, and he'd be like, "Oh, she's so pissed. This is Nynaeve." Right? Like, you would know
I know that anger.
Yeah. Like, if I was all of a sudden just like in the back of your mind, you'd be like, "Oh, fuck, that's Dani."
There's only one person who could be this annoyed with me. I don't do anything ever. No one could.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you'd be like, this is a very particular brand of annoyance.
Oh, man. Yep. Very true.
Because it's our love bond.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah. So I want to believe that Lan will know.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to have seen the confirmation.
Fair.
I think that would have been such just a happy ending.
Yeah.
Just a real Disney.
Yeah.
Like roundabout.
This is Wheel of Time. We don't do that here.
Yeah, I know. I know. He probably doesn't even know. He's just sleeping.
Okay.
It's like literally no different.
Yeah.
Because all he can feel is like in the one direction, right? Like when it's far away, like you can't really even feel anything.
Yeah, I mean, like hypothetically, we don't really know.
Yeah.
But again, we don't really have a lot of water Aes Sedai examples of people who like legit love each other either.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Okay. So we got one chapter.
Legit love each other.
Legit. Okay, one chapter coming up next.
Okay,
We got a couple long chapters.
You forgot the
What?
cutest
What else
part
is there?
when
Oh my
Nynaeve
goodness.
is like so excited because the awareness of land grows in her mind,
Yeah.
and she knows he's still alive.
Well, I guess that's okay.
That's really big because that lets us in to her head, and she's not sure at this moment if Lan is even still alive.
I guess that's true. That's fair.
So that's like a big deal for her.
Ugh, I guess if being alive is an important part of a relationship to you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
One chapter.
Yeah.
They're long chapters coming up.
So just to clear things up, I did like this chapter.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Why did you think I wouldn't?
I don't know. You're, hot and cold with Nynaeve sometimes. I don't feel like that's a surprise to anybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
But this was good.
Yeah.
This was great.
I agree.
Okay.
It's a great chapter.
It's excellent. Now, I am getting more and more concerned. The more good, positive chapters I read,
Sure.
this has to end.
Yes, of course.
It has to.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm reading with trepidation
Yeah.
at this point.
Wow.
Well, because I thought, she's not gonna get... like, my mind is so negative at this point. Because I'm like, things have been going too well.
Yeah.
Like, if things could just end here...
Sure. Like the book series. We've basically covered everything.
Honestly,
like, we got most of what we needed to do.
It would be fine.
Yeah, all right. Okay,
it would
that's
be
it.
fine.
That's a wrap. We did it.
Yeah. And the Dark One just actually never broke free, and we're actually just fine.
It's cool.
And the Forsaken are just dumb and never team up and never do anything productive, and we never hear from them, so it doesn't even really matter. It's great. I'm going to stop trying to sound so repetitive at the end of every episode where I'm like, should I even keep reading? But I'm feeling an imminent doom.
Well, you can read one chapter and see if that doom comes next chapter.
Oh, see?
It might.
It might.
It might.
What's it called? I'm making you open your book.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what the chapter's called.
Ooh.
I haven't memorized every chapter title. I know what happens in it, but I looked ahead, but
You're flipping through the whole book. You know there's an index, right?
An open gate.
Ugh, that doesn't tell me anything. What's the symbol?
Trollocs.
Oh! Okay. That sounds exciting and terrible. Okay. No, okay. Wrap my head around that.
Okay.
Oh, oof. Okay. It's a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, before you go ahead and officially become an Aes Sedai tomorrow, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, Zane Sayaka, Matrix, The Albatross, Bratimus Prime, and Matt Truss, with music by Audionautic. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon-exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping people find us. And tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.